Hi, I'm Dana from Dana's Epic Adventures, and today I'm going to talk about how to get and keep a 5-star rating at Shipt. So, why do you want a 5-star rating? Well, if you have 5 stars, the higher your rating, the more offers you're going to get, especially if you're working in a competitive zone. Now, sometimes there are members which we call low raters. And it doesn't matter what you do, how much you bring the magic, they are always going to rate you low no matter what. Or they're going to rate you low because of something that was out of your control. For example, the store was out of stock of something that they really wanted. Well, I don't stock the shelves at the grocery store, so sorry, I can't do anything about that except offer you what the alternatives that they do have. And so in order to get and keep 5 stars, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of tips, but then at the end, even if you're doing all those things and you get a low rater, how to keep your rating up and what to do about that. Well, there's no hack to getting a 5-star rating. You have to actually be a 5-star shopper first, and I'm going to show you how to do that. There's 3 keys to getting and keeping 5 stars. The first one is communication. So communication is very important from the very first time. So for example, we've all had an order where maybe it was a promo and you picked it up late. In that case, if I'm not going to arrive at the store an hour before the delivery window, I'm going to send that person a text and say, hey, this is Dana, your Shipt shopper. I'm heading to the store, and I say the store name. So Winn-Dixie, Target, Publix, Meijer. I'm heading to store name, and I'll start shopping your order shortly. Wow, that was hard. When I get into the parking lot and park my car, or if you have an order where you're going to be on time, where you're going to arrive at least an hour before the delivery window, you send them the intro text, the automatically generated one by the app. You're in the parking lot and you send them the intro text. By the time you get in the store and scan your first item, it looks like you started shopping right away, because you have. So sometimes the store has every single item exactly as they ordered and everything's great and amazing and perfect, but that doesn't always happen, especially during a hurricane or a pandemic. So say I had an order today where she ordered caffeine-free Coke Zero, and she also ordered regular Coke Zero. But there was no caffeine-free Coke Zero in any form. She wanted a 2-liter, but there was no cans, no nothing. So I'm not going to sub that because I'm going to use the other sub for the regular Coke Zero. So I removed it from her order and gave her a refund. But she can't see that I did that in the app without looking at her receipt after I've already delivered it. So to prevent any confusion and to keep them all on the same page, whenever I remove an item because it's out of stock, or say they ordered toilet paper and the entire aisle is completely empty, there's no subs to offer them. So I'm going to go ahead and send them a text saying, I'm sorry, the store is completely out of toilet paper or Coke Zero caffeine free, and let them know that I removed it from their order. Let's go back to the regular Coke Zero. They don't have a 2-liter, but they have a 12-pack of cans or an 8-pack of 12-ounce bottles. So those are good things to offer. And if it says contact the customer, what I would do is take a picture of those 2 items, and realistically at the grocery store they're not going to be next to each other on the shelf. So I put them next to each other on the shelf and take a picture and send it to them and say, which one of these do you prefer? And if they don't get back to you by the time you're ready to check out, then you have to make a judgment on your own. If it's not similar, then you can remove it from the order and let them know. If it is similar, use your best judgment, and whatever you grab for them, send them a text and let them know. So generally, if they're out of stock of something that a customer ordered, I try to pick 2 to 3 subs and say they are out of, I try to pick 2 or 3 of the closest thing to what they ordered, and take a picture of those 3 items together, and then send them the picture. Take a picture and send it to them and ask them, hey, they're out of the thing you ordered, but they have X, Y, and Z. Do any of these work for you? And if they say no, then say, okay, well, I remove that from your order. Sometimes the manufacturer changes what the package looks like. For example, my customer today ordered, what is it called? Nature's Own, the light version of the wheat bread, which is called Life, and it used to be like a green bag with like orange lettering, but they completely changed the color and it looks different, but it's the same bread. In that case, I would take a picture and send it to them and tell them, hey, this looks different. I think it's the same product, but I'm not sure. Is that okay? That way, in case they were expecting the green package with the orange writing, they now they know. So they can't be like, oh, you brought the wrong item. And then in case it's not, or they don't like the packaging, that gives them the opportunity to say like, hey, I don't think that's the same thing. I don't want that. There used to be a glitch where, say the customer would order fresh cherries, or I forget what it was, strawberries, but then it would show up in the app as frozen blueberries. And I found this out by texting the customer, oh, they're completely out of frozen blueberries. What would you like me to get you instead? And they were like, what are you talking about? I didn't order blueberries. And there was like, it was a whole bunch of different items, but I haven't heard anything about that in a while, so I think that's fixed. Okay, so now you've gone through the whole list of all their items, asking permission every time you make a change, and if they don't respond, use your best judgment. Maybe get a different size or a different brand that's almost exactly the same thing, or if you know the customer, maybe it's a regular, then you maybe can make decisions without them if they don't respond. But most people respond. Okay, so you've gotten to the end of the list. I send them one of 2 messages. The first message is if you got everything, the order was a unicorn. So I would send them, great news, I was able to get everything exactly as you ordered. Do you need anything else before I check out? Now, if you were not able to get everything that they ordered, but they had a few subs, then I would send almost the exact same message. Great news, I was able to get everything else exactly as you ordered. Do you need anything else before I check out? And most of the time they say no, but sometimes they'll add 1 or 2 last minute things, and it's not a big deal. Although, unless they're a pain in the ass and they've already added 30 items, then don't say, do you need anything else? That's only happened with 2 customers. Yeah. So after you check out and pack everything into your car, then you send the on the way message that's auto-generated by Shipt. It says, hey, whatever their name is, I've completed your order. I've packed. Oh, so here's what I add. I have a bunch of freezer bags, and I let them know I've packed everything into my freezer bags. I'm on the way, and I'll see you soon. So that lets them know, like, oh, my items are going to be nice and cold when they arrive. They're not like melting by the minute in her car. Great. Okay, so hopefully that maybe gets extra tips, or it makes the customer a little bit more satisfied. After you unload the car and put everything by their door, if they aren't meeting you outside or whatever, then or if it's not alcohol where you need their signature or a prescription or any of the other items that need a signature or an ID, take a picture of if they're not home, or if you didn't see them or wave at them or whatever. Take a picture of their items outside of their door or in the lobby if it's a high-rise condo and delivery people are not allowed upstairs. And take a picture of all of their items and then text it to them right away and say, your order is outside your door, or your order is in the lobby, or your order is in the mailroom, or whatever it may be. Or some places have valet and the valet take it up to them. Then I'll say, I'll send a picture of the cart that I packed, the cart that belongs to the condo, and I'll say like, your order is in the lobby and the valet is bringing it up. But usually if it's a place like that, they call the customer and let them know what they want to do with it. So then you mark it as delivered, you leave and go back to your store for the next order. So when I go back to the store to do my next order, that's when I text the customer I just delivered to, thank you for using Shipt. You can find your final receipt in the app, or if it was prepaid, in your email. If anything doesn't look right, if anything doesn't look up to your standards, please let me know and I'll do my best to make it right. Have a great day, have a great night, have a great whatever. That gives them the chance, if they don't like how something looks, or if, they got the wrong size, or the wrong this, or the wrong that, or this has a hole in it, they can text you and let you know, and you have the opportunity to fix it. If they have any notes in their order that say, I don't know, don't ring the doorbell, or leave it on the doorstep and ring the doorbell, or whatever, or even like during the shop, like check the expiration dates or whatever, make sure you reference those notes in your communication so that they know that you read that. So then your on the way message would become, I'll leave the stuff outside of the door and then ring the doorbell, or not ring the doorbell as you requested, so that they know that you read the message and you're planning on following that. Most people either don't respond, or they say, oh, you were great, or everything's perfect, thank you so much. I had a customer that ordered an AC filter and then groceries, and I didn't want the AC filter to either blow away or get squished, so I stood it up next to the front of the house, but there was like a little like potted tree and it was kind of behind the tree, and I let her know like, hey, you might not be able to see it, but it's there. But if I forgot to send that to let her know, she could have said, oh, my AC filter's missing, and then I could have told her where to go to find it, or something like that. If they say something is missing but it's not missing, and but like, if I've only had a few people say something, and one of them says, oh, you got me the wrong size mason jars, but I got her the exact same mason jar that it said in the app, and it was actually a glitch where the one she ordered was not the one that showed up in my app. If it's something like that, or one time a guy ordered a bunch of gallons of water and one of them had a hole in it and it was leaking, and I didn't know it until I dropped it off. If something like that happens, then you call support and you let them know, and they'll tell you what to do. Maybe they'll give you a credit. Maybe they'll give them a credit. Or like, if they don't like your sub and you've already checked out but you haven't gone to their house yet, they're gonna tell you don't deliver the item, and then support can remove that from their order, and they'll tell you what to do with the item. If it's a big item, they might say, keep it. If it's a big item, they might say return it to the store. I had that happen with a bag of goldfish crackers once, and they told me, like, don't worry about it, just keep it. The second key is good picking and transport. So that means not only are you going to pick the best looking items, but you're also going to make sure that they stay the best looking items until they get to their door. For example, you're going to pick the best looking produce, or have you ever gone to the store and all the boxes on the shelves were smashed and there was none that looked good? So I had a customer order tomatillos, and he wanted like 30 of them, and there was only like 32 left. So, and like most of them looked like rotten. So I took a picture and I said, hey, this is all that's left. Do you want me to like pick the best looking ones out of what's left, or do you want me to remove it from your order? And he said, just go ahead and get, however many I ordered. And actually today I had 2 items. One of them was granola bars or something, and every single box on the shelf was mashed. And then another item, which was stool softener, there was one of the exact item that she ordered, and it had like a giant hole in the box. I sent her a picture so that you can see how the box is damaged, and said, hey, this is the last one. Is this okay? Or would you like, and then there was 3 other stool softeners. There was the exact same one, but the bigger package, and then the store brand, and then something else. Maybe it was a different size of the store brand. So I sent her the picture of the damaged one and then the picture of the subs. And she ended up not responding, and I figured that like it was just a bottle of pills, and it's still sealed on the inside, and it looked like the box got damaged when the stock person like cut the box open. They accidentally cut the product, but the actual bottle and the actual sealed product was still intact, so I figured it was okay. That's what I would have done for myself anyway. Okay, so make sure to get your cold stuff last. Your yogurt, cheese, ice cream, frozen vegetables, raw meat, frozen meat, all that, get it last. And make sure that you don't put like colder items on the top, so where that they could drip onto like a box of granola bars, for example, and then it could get it wet, because that might appear damaged. Don't put something on top of the bread, because then it would get squished. Don't put anything on top of berries or grapes, because they could get squished. Just stuff like that. Like, make sure that everything in your cart, the way you put it in your cart, is gonna stay looking the best even when it gets to their house. Put fragile items on the top, but don't put like small round items like apples, pears, peppers in the front top, like the seat part, because the like hole is just big enough that they can like all roll into there. And way too many times I had like a bag full of apples or oranges or whatever, and like tomatoes, half of them like rolled down under the seat, and it was impossible for me to like scoop them back up without them getting damaged. So just don't put that stuff in there. When you check out, try to make all the cold stuff together, and so that when you get to your car, you can put it in your freezer bags and it'll all already be together. The third thing is good presentation. So you want everything to look nice when it's outside their door. So that means, most importantly, don't block their front door. That's a huge complaint, that people put the bags in front of their door, And if their door opens outward, then they have no way of opening the door without damaging their groceries. And if their door opens inward, it's still a bad idea to put the stuff right in front of the door, because if there's some sort of emergency and they need to get out quickly, the groceries are now an obstacle for them to make a safe escape. Or say if they're outside, then they have no way to open the door. One time I had a customer that did not respond to a single text my entire shop, and then I get to their house and I see she's outside mowing the lawn. So don't block the front door. Organize the bags neatly, like make them all stand up in order of so the coldest items towards the front, because those are the items closest to the door are the items that they're going to take in the house first. So you want them to take their ice cream, frozen vegetables, milk, yogurt. You want them to take those things in their house first, because they'll go in their fridge and freezer faster. And the last thing is to pull the handles up. I know it sounds small and stupid, but it makes a huge difference from like everything looks like a mess thrown outside of their door to like everything looks neat and organized and awesome. Check with your Metro about door drops. That wasn't really a thing before the pandemic. So check to see if you're still, if that's still the default, or if they don't respond the whole order and you get to their house and they don't answer, you might have to bring the stuff back to the store, because that's what we did before the pandemic. Now, it's still possible to do everything perfectly, to do all these things and still get somebody rate you low. For example, a few weeks ago, I had a customer ask me to bring the stuff in the house, and I thought maybe he didn't know that we're not supposed to go in their house because of the pandemic, and I just like put the stuff by his door, and then when he like went to the kitchen and put them away, and then I went to my car and got more stuff, and he by that time he had come back and he looked disappointed that I didn't come in his house. Anyway, it turns out he wanted me to like come in his house and hang out with him, and like I ain't nobody got time for that. I got shit to do. And yeah, so there's always a possibility that somebody could rate you low for something that's out of your control, or for something unreasonable that they wanted you to do. Like, for example, I know a lot of people complain that they don't want to pick up an order that has alcohol or cigarettes as a special request, because the customer is just gonna like rate them low, because they're gonna be so mad that they didn't get their alcohol or cigarettes. There's nothing they could do. So for that, there is a trick that I learned while I was in Michigan. So if you look at your stats, rating, AR, and on time. So everything updates at midnight every night, except for the 14-day rating. That is updated immediately. So whenever you get a notification in your app that you got a tip, it's a good idea to check your rating and then go back and see who that person was that just tipped you. And in a perfect world where everybody tips, the person that just tipped you also just rated you. But not everybody tips. It doesn't work that way. I picked up a Target order promo, and I still made it to their house on time. I was able to get them extra Lysol wipes that weren't on their order. Oh, that's another tip. If there's some hot item that everybody wants that's like not really in stock and hard to find, and you see it, ask them, hey, they just put these out. Do you want me to grab one for you? And yeah. So this person, and their house was really hard to find, and I followed their instructions exactly, and I felt like I was you know, I went the extra mile for them and they tipped me $1. And that's the point where I noticed that my rating tanked. So I emailed support, and it turns out it wasn't that person that rated me, it was somebody else who did not tip me. So it's not foolproof, but you can always, when you see a rating go down, email shoppers at shipt.com or shoppersuccess@shipt.com. I was told they both get forwarded to the same address, so I copied both of those email addresses and sent it to them and be like, hey, my rating just tanked. I haven't had any like problems with any customers, and then they'll look into it and they'll review it, and if they find that you did all of those things and you said, hey, let me know if there's any problems, if anything doesn't look up to your standards, then they see that the customer had the opportunity to tell you about any problems they had with your order and they didn't. So unless you otherwise gave them bad service, you know, they're gonna be like, okay, somebody rated you low and you didn't deserve it, so I'm gonna give you rating forgiveness on that order. There's no absolute rules. Every order is different, every customer is different. These are just guidelines. Do whatever works best for your customer and your order. Use your best judgment, but these are the guidelines that I follow. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you improve your ratings. Let me know if you liked anything I said in this video, or if you learned something new. Give this video a thumbs up, and happy shopping. Be safe. I'll see you out there.